Hey YouTube, it's Jimmy's Garage. It's been like a month or so. I never upload as many videos as I'd like, but I got this snowmobile that I showed a couple episodes ago, the Rev XP, and then I ended up buying a brand new 2025 MXZ Sport 137-inch track with a 600 EFI for my wife. Great sled. We put 120 miles on it last weekend up in the UP. Today's March 28th. On the Rev XP, I just did the snow flap upgrade, the old ones right there behind me, because it's really important to cooling for any of you snowmobile guys. I had some overheating issues my first time out with it, but it's a good sled. I put the stock can back on. I was over revving, and I didn't want to have to click her down and deal with all that, so put the stock muffler on and everything's been fine. And now I got these from Discount Ramps. I got these snowmobile slides for the carbides for the trailer. It's the Discount Ramps brand Black Ice. DiscountRamps.com. So I got 40 feet of this. This was like $67. It's on sale right now. My trailer, and I got a trailer because I had a clamshell. I bought a clamshell trailer, returned it because this sled was too long. I need to power wash that. I see some like mud in some areas just from loading them, and the parking lot got a little muddy up in Pine Stump Junction, Michigan, up in the UP north of Newberry. I can see that sled looks dirty. But anyways, I got a clamshell, a 10-foot clamshell, and that actually fit lengthwise, but the windshield I had to pull off, and then the headlights still would touch. This area up here was still touching the trailer, so I had to end up getting a hybrid. And the hybrid already came with the caliber track grippers and these carbide slides. And then now I'm just adding, I got the Max Tracks, and I got these slides because they're a lot cheaper than that stuff. And fits the two slides nicely. It's I think it's considered an 11-foot clamshell. It's what's the brand? What is it? Hyper Sports or something? I don't know. It probably says it on the front, but it's an 8.5-foot wide hybrid, all aluminum, and it was missing a piece of trim right there, and I actually have it in the garage. Let's see here. Yeah, it's this piece. So I got this from E-Trailer. So that's something I got to do too, which is just add this trim at the bottom of that diamond plate. And it just sticks. It's double-sided sticky is what they use. 3M VHB. So sweet trailer. Pretty happy with it. We only did one trip with it, but it's a 2016. I had to replace one LED. Where's those LEDs? I had to replace one of the LEDs on it. But other than that, where'd that thing go? Anyways, it's like these LEDs up here. I had to replace the orange one on the front. Got it from Amazon. Other than that, pretty solid trailer. All right, it's a Sport Haven trailer. That's the brand. I couldn't remember it. So, yeah, sweet. I'm just vacuuming out any of the wood. But yeah, that's got a studded track. I'm vacuuming out some of the wood that got a little, dust and stuff before I screw this stuff down. But that's got a studded track, and so I don't want to mess up this rain guard wood. But yeah, it's got the Caliber logo there. It's got a nice LED inside. It's actually pretty bright too. But I love having the drop down door, the hybrid door. just makes it like a nice enclosed. The only problem with these is they're so wide that you're like towing a parachute, but this trailer works. I needed a single axle that I can maneuver around my driveway, and this just works for me. So yeah, there'll be some more sled content. I mean, we just got these things. That flap's gonna be great. That LED tail light looks sweet. I can put the link in description for where the guy that I copied on YouTube, but that's a Rev XS flap, Rev XS tail light, and that's all you've gotta, you basically, oh, and then you can either buy, there's a whole plug and play harness you can actually buy, or you can just cut off the end and tap in the LED if you cut off the old taillight. But now it won't it's not gonna have any problems anymore. It's a good sled. It's just, yeah. And then so that I could see my temps, I added the premium cluster, because I didn't like not being able to see my exact temps on the base cluster. And so I got that for $250 on eBay. I sold the old one for $200 and had a local Skidoo guy, Starsky, he flashed it for me. So yeah, it's sweet to have the digital. Well, I mean, you know, it have a lot more on the digital screen. So yep, it's almost time for these. But anyways, just wanted to get something up to let everyone know I'm still kicking. These things, it's almost time. I gotta put the arrow, pipe. There's the arrow over there. Gotta put the arrow on that. That I've got to figure out why the headset keeps coming loose after wheeling. I've used Loctite. I think I'm gonna have to weld it like Jay Story says. That's done. Getting the vinyl, the vintage decals put on it. These guys here in a day or two. I got the new seat cover from Enjoy. That is beautiful. Send your seats down to Enjoy. Don't use Thrill Seeker. I mean, no, I'm kidding. Thrill Seeker's is great. But they're really good at making seat covers, and they're very popular in the moped space. And so it's, if you want like something like that hasn't been done before, good luck. Like, you'll be on their wait list. Enjoy is probably a bigger company than Thrill Seekers, but Enjoy, I think because their operation might be bigger. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But they were responsive. That's what we've got on the wife's squad over there. But yeah, it didn't take them very long. Got that done. Now I've got a custom gripper on the dual seat. And then I also finally got the gas gauge programmed on the jog. It used to not quite read. It would basically only use the first 2 bars. So when it was empty, you know, it would show half tank. And when it's full, it would work. Well, there's a device that a local guy showed me, and he actually posted some pretty good YouTube videos. So I don't even need to like go into much detail. Why can't I see that key? But basically it is a correction tool. So I just have it double-sided sticky right here, but it taps in, and I'll link his video, I guess. And you're able to completely correct, program, whatever you want to call it, your fuel gauge, and it'll work on anything. Like, it's got a potentiometer and a couple buttons for empty, half, full, and you program them using the potentiometer, and then you tell the tank when empty is, and then you go through the settings, and it works. I'm surprised, but it does. From AliExpress, 20 bucks. So anyways, quick update. Just kind of wanted to show these. I'm not gonna film myself doing them, but new trailer, new sleds, 2025, 137, and now I'm looking at doing some shocks on it. The 137 MXZ Sport has the SC5M skid, and so that rear shock, I actually just took it off to measure it, is on a 137 is actually 18 3/4, so it's like a 129-inch skid on a R-Motion sled. So I can use the R-Motion 129 rear KYB from an XRS on this, and yeah, that's gonna, I don't know, I don't really need to spend money on that thing, but why not? And then I think I'm gonna wrap just the side of the tunnel in satin black. I have that huge roll right there of satin black from Avery, so I think I'm gonna do that, and kind of makes those sleds look nicer. Other than that, I like that thing a lot. It was $9,188, which was $1 under dealer cost right now. They got 0% interest. They got, you know, the Skidoo $500 off. So it was just the time here at the end of the season to get one of these. And I found a 137. There's a lot of 129s, but I wanted the 137, especially because that SC5M skid is uncoupled. So it's actually a pretty good mild off-trail sled, regardless of what you might think. And then I think I'm gonna run this next season and then get a backcountry sport. So same engine as that, but a 146. A little different skid. It'll fit in this trailer, which is nice because I have this thing pulled way back. I have it pulled back to try to put weight closer to the axle my way. I had this thing really well balanced, because otherwise you just have all the weight. If you drive the skis right up to the plate up there, that wood, you have, you know, all the weight on the tongue. So, all right, thanks. All right, so I don't really have like the best setup because I'm new to sleds. So like I literally have this thing just sitting in the garage. So I don't have a good way to like, you know, show you the like rev sounds, but I figure I'll at least do like an idle, but with the stock exhaust. Got a good sound, but you know, they're quiet. All right, just so that I have a little something to compare. All right, that was a nightmare getting that to seal up. So I got a new, to me, HPS can. I got it on eBay for $120. These are like $400. And then I did some VHT high temp, because they come silver, but somebody had a muff pot on it, and it had some scratches. So recoated it. It's curing. You need a 17 millimeter wrench. This is a 600 E-Tech. And you've got two springs there that hold it to the like collector or whatever, the gasket. And then you've got a spring here. And I believe that is all. I'm gonna use my spring puller. I'll put a link in the description to this. I forgot what brand this is, but they're nice because they're flat on one side, and believe it or not, it really helps when you need to get it into certain areas. I always thought these were a little silly, but they're actually really good tools. So anyways, spring, 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 17 millimeter. That's pretty much it. All right, so I ran into one more spring right there. So you got spring, 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 spring. All right, so I got a HPS muffler, I don't know what they call it, can, for an XP, Rev XP, 600 E-Tech or 800. I got it on eBay, $120. Had some scratches because it had a muff pot on it, so I just recoated it with it. They come silver. I recoated it with some BHT high high temp, whatever, very high temp from, you can get at the auto parts store with silver. So it matched the old coating, and it's ceramic coating. So I'm curing it. This is the 09 600 E-Tech. I got the thing for $120. I think they're like $450 new, and VHT is $15 for a can. 17 millimeter wrench is needed. You've got 2 springs there, 1 spring there. I have my handy spring puller tool. I will put a link in the description. They actually seem silly, but the bend is great, and the way they're flat on one side, it's flat on this side, and it's got like more curve on this side. Very good on 2-stroke dirt bikes. Don't think there's a spring on that. And they're just good for any of the exhaust springs you deal with. I think this has a spring right there. I was gonna say, I thought there was a spring on one of my scooters. Yeah, I think the Aero pipe has one. Anyway, so nothing to it. 17 mil, those 2 springs at the top, at the collector or whatever, spring down there. I think that is all. If you look at the muffler, you got spring, spring, spring. All right, we'll see how it goes. But this is my $1,600 sled here that runs great. New motor. Sleds weren't really selling in Michigan, so I lowballed.